Hi, got a new toy. It's called All Tiled Up, and I thought it was appropriate for this journal, Escapees from the Prison of Mind, because mind likes to break things up and separate them out. Okay, this was written today, 4/21/2010. It's the second journal, and the Mayan calendar day is for Serpent. Mind is a prison in which all have been trapped. At one time or another, in one lifetime or another, all have spent time trapped in and as the thinking mental mind, identified with that. This is a sorry state out of which all are meant to rise. When we are ready, none compels. It is a good idea, though, to at least begin the process by looking at the postulation, for this is not generally easily done, nor accomplished in a flash. It is generally a process, but the process, like any other, starts with seeing. We cannot enter into anything, process or otherwise, that we do not see, do not perceive as at least a possibility, if not a solid factual reality. So let's start with the seeing. What are we to see, to look at? At the solar plexus region right now, how does it feel? Is it tense? Feel into that, enter it. Sense if there's any fear there. Mind's fear of losing control, of wanting to maintain the reins over everything. Mind is quite happy with the reality it has created already. It is loath to consider another one, especially one that challenges some or even of its pet positions, its chosen ways of viewing things. Into this very unstable mind, most or many have incarnated themselves. They take themselves to be that, to be the mind, to exist within the realm of the mind's creation, which is no more than a perspective on life, only one of oh so many. Minds like to get together, too. They take strength from others' agreement with them, with their views. They take that for confidence that, of course, they are and were right all along. It is most important to mind, anyone's mind, to be right at all costs. Mind is a reality creator. We have not been taught this, however, and so we've greatly underestimated mind's power to create and to maintain control of the creation. 3D mind, in all of its three incarnations of conscious, subconscious, and unconscious mind, is quite content to run the reality show here in this dimension, the third. People have identified with mind. Excuse me, you might hear kitties and puppies making noises because I have a new little puppy and my two kitties have their noses out of joint. People have identified with mind. This is a dangerous state to be in because mind can always be deceived. Mind has no North Star, absent rulership of the heart. Only with heart in control is mind safe and in minimal or even no danger of being deceived. Now, this would be all nice and neat if it were as simple as that. It is quite simple, really, but there is such a major sea change created by the migration from mind-centered to heart-centered living that the simplicity of it is not, at first, obvious. Heart is another domain or dimension entirely. Nothing that mind knows is of much use there. Thus, mind is frightened, afraid of the unknown. And well it should be. Mind is quite sensible. Heart is not. They abide by a completely different set of standards in a different reality entirely. So that there is simply no way for mind to foreknow what it is getting into, so to speak. It just can't be said, can't be done. Mind can't take a look ahead. Thus, it is somewhat like walking the plank, from mind to surrender to heart. Thus, the fear, the tension in the gut, that's from mind. The mind who begins to see what's ahead. Mind doesn't like it. Mind is quite an adept trickster, too. So, many's the seeker who finds themselves suddenly taking another road, a detour from the road that leads to heart. Mind says, maybe later, we've got plenty of time. You've got lots of embodiments yet to do that. Let's go this way just now. Doesn't that look lovely up ahead? And off we go, off track yet again, if we're not watching, observant, not alert. For those identified with mind, they cannot spot mind's tricks. So they are misled once again. The obvious solution to that, of course, is to stop identifying with the mind. But how to do that? Who and what am I besides my mind? Beyond the process of thought, do I exist? What am I? What is a soul, a spirit? Am I that? What is that? Heart knows the answers, my friends. The head never will. Given eternity to find them, mind never could. So, may I suggest that we drop down into heart and just be with this question a while? That's all, just be. No thought needed. No thought allowed. Every time you find yourself back in thought, just look up and realize you've fallen back into the mind and drop back down, back into heart. I know it's a bit tricky. If you want to, however, you can. Will and intent, I speak of these. Set the intent to do this, to drop down into heart and observe. Once the intent is set, that musters the will to make it so. Then, eventually, you will see that you can practically just sit back and watch it happen. Now, don't be fooled by those last words, though. Know why? Because your definition of the you has not yet made the sea change. Thus, mind cannot understand it, what it really says, that you can just practically sit back and watch it happen. Which you? Oh, your heart knows. But until you make friends with the heart, what good does that do you? See you in heart.